Welcome to the Worldly Show.
Here with your host, Elizabeth, Sarah, Lauren, Spencer. And this season's episodes of Voices of the Worldly, featuring the Idiots Unleashed series. Backed by popular demand, these folks bring their own brand of hilarious and outrageous commentary. So please, sit back and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Worldly Show. You are here with your hosts, Elizabeth, Sarah, Lauren, Spencer, and brilliant broadcast technician, Mitzi Banks, at the Worldly Show Studios here in Los Angeles. Back by popular demand, I'm excited to bring you Voices of the Worldly, featuring the Idiots Unleashed panel. They are here to answer your questions and to give their unique commentary on various news topics, so let's get straight to it and see what kind of crazy and outrageous things that the panel has to say. Today's show starts with a political question. This one is from Connecticut, and they would like to know, what are your thoughts on having a woman as a US president? Would Hillary be a viable choice? Now, who here would like to field this question?
I think that a very interesting question. Many countries have the women president, and the 18 that do, about 4 of them work correctly. I could say that if she had the good looking, that many of the men's would just do as she say. She say, I have vagina, so you take missiles out of country, huh? And then some men would be like, well, if you look better and you give me some pussy, then maybe that I do what you fucking say. But there's some older presidents and kings, and they like the grandma types, and so they'd probably say, fuck it, all right, I do as you want.
Well, thank you, Ahmed, for your very savvy political opinion. Same question posed to you, Jethro. What are your thoughts on a woman as the President of the United States?
You know, when I think about women in the United States that should be the president, Jethro can think of none, because that is just the way it needs to be. Men founded this country. You know, how many women fought in the Revolutionary War in 1775? You ask good old Jethro, he knows the answer would be 0. How many women signed the Declaration of Independence? That would also be 0. How many women fought in the Civil War? Well, that would be 0 there. The only reason why they were in World War II is because it was a goddamn world war, and we needed everyone we could get. But equality is important. I think that there are good women teachers. I think that there are good women that make me bread in the kitchen. I think there's women that do all sorts of good things, but as far as being the President of the United States, I could see women maybe being a secretary to the President of the United States, but that's as far as that son of a bitch should get to that goddamn office.
Okay, well, thank you, Jethro, for your enlightened view on women in politics. Now let's hear from Lord Richard. Lord Richard, what are your thoughts on a woman as president?
When I first heard today that Hillary Clinton was running for president of the United States, I thought to myself, that is a very interesting concept. It's interesting because she is not the Queen of England, which means that she will be far... well, let's just call it how it is. She might be educated, but she's not royalty, she's not blue blood. She is not of proper demeanor. The only claim to fame that I do believe she has, and that she was able to, with her lawyer skills, to deflammate an entire Watergate scandal.
Well, I can certainly appreciate your views on the subject. Thank you, Lord Richard. Next question. A listener from Washington would like to know your views on the Patriot Act, specifically Section 215. And should it be renewed, or should we just let the sun set on that provision?
You know, Jethro has a theory about technology. You know what? Every time people try and record me when I'm going through the Jack in the Box, I get pretty offended by that because, I think if I order 2 burgers instead of 1, will the NSA think that I'm up to no good? And the answer could be yes. I really don't want to know what AT&T thinks about my calling techniques. When I dial the phone, I would like to think that the phone call I'm making is only between me and the other person on the other side of the phone call.
But that is not now, and that's the issue at stake.
Well, if people want to record what I say, I can just hop on in the old Chevy and drive down to the place where I need to go and do something called talk in person.
I suppose that's an option, but, today everything's globalized and you're not always talking to the person that's right down the street that you can get to in your Chevy. What do you do then?
I continue to do it the same goddamn way I've always been doing it because I don't care about no globalization. I just want to order some pizza. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I really don't give a shit about the stock exchange crash in Italy. I just want to get my pizza.
Excuse me, Jethro. This question was actually about the Patriot Act, not about the Italian stock market. Did you have something you'd like to say about Italy?
I was just making something called an opinion. I don't really care about Italy. I was just making a funny, saying that in Mobile we need life simple.
All right then, Jethro. Thank you. Do you, Ahmed, have anything to say about the Patriot Act? Seeing how, in some ways, it kind of affects you and your business dealings.
Ahmed does not think that the Patriot Act fucks with anything, because, again, money comes down to fixing problems. CIA says, the Patriot Act, we're going to get you the Patriot Act. Ahmed says, that's fine, I just buy it,
That's your answer to everything, just buy it.
Usually, when Ahmed has problems, he offers candy, and if he can't offer candy, he offers toys, and if he can't offer toys, he just offers money. If he can't offer money, I just fucking kill you,
Yeah, that sounds like a very exciting business model.
Pretty fucking successful,
Yeah, I guess you are. Thank you.
Last time I checked, they're still alive, Some people are not, Victory for Ahmed every fucking day,
I can't really argue with that.
No, most people can't,
Well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take another question. This question comes to us from Texas, and they ask, what is all this talk about Jade Helm? What is it? And should we be afraid?
If it didn't make millions of dollars, Ahmed doesn't know about it,
You are indeed amusing, Ahmed.
Jethro here, I would like to say that if we wind up having to invade Japan again, I don't know how many prisoners we can take this time, because I guess that there's funding issues in the Congress, and they said that we can no longer invade countries. And, the way I look at it, we've already done a lot of damage over there in Nagasaki. And when Godzilla came and he messed up a lot of things too, I think that we have just done too much. We should leave the people with the funny eyes alone.
That's very interesting, Jethro, but it wasn't Japan, it was Jade Helm. Jade Helm, not Japan.
You can cross me any way you want. I heard what I heard, and I heard Japan. You got it?
Yes, Jethro, thank you. I believe I've got it. Okay, well, let's take another question. This question comes from a listener from right here in Los Angeles, and they'd like to know your thoughts on a fairly recently passed Proposition 47, where you actually get to change your criminal record to reflect your felony crimes as misdemeanors. And they've asked Ahmed address this question. Ahmed, do you have an opinion?
Ahmed has fucking opinion about that, There's many fucked up things like that in California, especially Los Angeles. If I have the opportunity to go back, I will claim victory,
What did you do? Did you have anything exciting to tell us about?
Beat the shit out of people on the street.
And did you get a felony arrest record for that?
I did, but Ahmed just changed name, as always.
Fuck me, what was your name before?
I cannot tell you, because FBI is tracking as we speak,
Oh, NSA, for sure.
Oh, all sorts of agencies track Ahmed, huh?
All sorts. So we got NSA, the FBI, and who else?
Oh, yeah, the CIA.
CIA.
Ahmed's tracked by the Border Patrol and the Customs, huh?
What about the post office? Are they interested in you too?
Only when I mail things, huh?
So it's a conspiracy then.
Everyone's a fucking conspiracy, get Ahmed, huh? I mail things, I have candy, I have friends, I have toys. If they cannot handle it, they can go jump in fucking lake,
What about the IRS? Have they ever contacted you?
Oh, no, I'd write checks to them. They're the ones that do not they make angry, huh? What do you think is so fucking funny about that, huh?
Because that is exactly what I think. I think the IRS is the one agency you don't want to mess with. You definitely want to be paying your taxes. I support you on that.
Oh, you do? Or do you pay taxes in London?
I actually pay the VAT, yes, the value-added tax.
Is that the fucking money you give to the Queen?
Yeah, to the monarchy, yes. They know what they do with
people
it.
are so full of shit over there. I am afraid of the IRS. Everyone else, go fuck themselves, huh?
But not the IRS.
No, not the IRS. I take care of them because they allow Ahmed to make friends, huh? And money.
How many social security numbers do you have?
Ahmed thinks that he doesn't want to answer that fucking question, huh?
Okay, we shall just move on then. Well, I'm curious to know, Leroy, you've been really quiet lately. Do you have anything to say about the IRS or the multiple social security numbers?
Man, fuck those motherfuckers, man. Fuck them trying to take my motherfucking money. Fuck them. Fuck you. Fuck everyone. How about that?
Well, I think that's just fine if that's your opinion. Do you have anything to say about the EBT process, that entitlement program?
EBT, GBT, what the fuck?
Well, the EBT is the electronic version of food stamps, as I understand it, and they issue you a card, like a debit card or something, and you can.
Debit card? What's that? Like a motherfucking credit card?
Yeah, I believe it's similar.
Why can't you say motherfucking credit card? I don't give a fuck about no debit. Fucking fuck you.
Have you ever had to use one?
I use motherfucking cash, bitch.
Well, I don't think that type of language is necessary in this conversation, Leroy. Do you know?
Is this shit gonna be on NBC, motherfucker?
No, it's actually going to be on the Wadley Show.
Now who gives a fuck what I say?
Well, we're all quite interested in what you have to say. That's why you're one of our expert panel members.
I didn't know I was a motherfucking expert, but I'll beat your fucking ass.
Well, that won't be necessary, but I am quite interested in your opinions on... Well, we were talking about the IRS and perhaps people not paying their taxes. Do you pay your taxes, Leroy?
No, I don't. What the fuck are they gonna do if I don't?
Well, I don't think that you want to let that be known on the broadcast show.
They can come to my motherfucking house, but they gonna get fucking taxed.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you, Leroy, for your honesty. I certainly appreciate your forthcoming on our show. So let's take another question. Okay, this one comes from a listener from Louisiana, from the southern parts of the United States, and they would like to know if anyone has an expert opinion on the recent reemergence of the Ebola virus.
I could think that the Ebola crisis is fucking funny, huh? People that play with too much candy, they mix the wrong fucking candy, then you have Ebola, huh?
Well, yes, Ahmed, I suppose that could be one theory. What do you think, Jethro? Do you think that the United States should extend their resources to assist in this epidemic yet again?
You know, the Ebola crisis that is happening right now in France is pretty outrageous. I think that over time, Ebola could hit Mobile, Alabama before I know it. And then there'd be an epidemic. And then the FBI would have to find out what happened. And all these resources would be used for nothing. So if we could send our troops over to Paris, France, and if they could figure out where this shit really came from and what little monkey popped off a ship and then bit some poor old lady in the keister, and then she walked down the street and took a dump, and then some fuck kid swished around in it, and then he got sick too. This could all be solved if somebody just went over there and did something about it. That's how I truly feel.
Well, thank you for sharing your feelings, Jethro. So it seems that we are out of time. I do so appreciate the participation of the panel members who have contributed to today's show, and I so look forward to your continued expert commentary. And let me remind you, listeners, that you may submit your questions for the panel via email. Please send them to questions@theworldlyshow.com. And if you have someone in particular that you'd like to answer, please do note that. Thank you, and see you next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Voices of the Worldly. Please note that any opinions expressed here are strictly those of the panel members and do not necessarily reflect those of The Worldly Show or its host. Further, all characters are fictitious and do not represent any real person living or dead. See you next time.